He's a Hall of Famer. And you see him on the MLB Network. He's also going to be broadcasting the World Series with Joe Buck for Fox. And it's our good friend John Smoltz. And, John, we're going back and forth about iconic, and farewell tours. And I'm not sure that Ortiz falls under that heading. What's your feel?
As far as farewell tours or iconic or both?
Both.
Farewell.
I think, look, the only thing that when I think of sports, I think of rivalries, right? And Boston, New York is as great as it's ever been. And when you think about the success of both teams, dominated primarily by the Yankees, I think bursts out of that sometimes you can get an iconic figure like a David Ortiz who delivers under the gun and into the most pressure-packed situations that makes him unique. And when I think of rivalries and I think of the past with whether it be Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, most of their success and the team's success has made them iconic. And I think of late, the Red Sox have returned to that level by winning a couple championships, and Ortiz has been right in the middle of it. I don't know if I answered your question, but that's what I think of.
Well, and again, nobody is going to downplay the significance of the rivalry and to what he means to Red Sox fans. But, earlier this year, in his last game in San Francisco, he was given a gift. To me, that's for somebody who transcends the game, somebody that's one of the greatest players of all time. So, yeah, he's iconic in Boston, but are they whispering his name, John, in San Francisco, in Milwaukee, in Anaheim, as one of the greats to ever play the game?
I could see where you're going, and I could see that being an interesting debate. What I've never understood, I guess, from a player standpoint is, I guess a player can put pressure on a lot of organizations when they announce their retirement. And
right.
We've had several do that where probably could fall under that. Fortunately for me, I just decided not to show up to work. I think the beauty of the game, to each their own, and for David Ortiz to be able, at least nothing else than to go out on this kind of level, statistically, we've never seen anything like it. Some guys we know have played longer than maybe other people said they should play and have a hard time exiting the game, as iconic as they are. And I think for at least, if nothing else, I have tremendous respect for a guy being able to walk away in his final season, set it out, know it's going to be, and then deliver. That to me is the dream of every player who ever puts on a uniform, is to deliver in their final year, because it's just a fairy tale. Rather than trying to come back from an awful injury like I did, or trying to at least step away on your own terms. If nothing else, he has delivered under the moment of his final year better than anybody I can ever remember.
What's on with John Smoltz of Fox and the MLB Network. And speaking of the MLB Network, it is featuring the Reds at the Cardinals tonight at 7 p.m. Plus, the postseason starts next Tuesday, October 4th, and MLB Network will have 2 exclusive NLDS game telecasts. We started the show today, John, by talking about Mark Teixeira's grand slam, walk-off grand slam last night. And we had Mark on, and I said, listen, if the Yankees get eliminated tonight, and he's not in the starting lineup, Mark, today, Tyler Austin is, the Yankees get eliminated either by a loss or an Oriole win, and that would I mean, they're not going to make the playoffs anyway, but it would officially eliminate them. I would never, ever, ever have another at bat. I mean, is there a better way to go out than a walk-off grand slam against the hated Red Sox rivalry? What would you do? You're
exactly right. It'd be awfully tempting. I hear you. That is, and I've heard that around the network today, just about what that would be like to be your final swing against your arch rivalry and to hit a grand slam. And I think that's going to be individually up to the person, but it'd be awfully tempting. For whatever it's worth, my final swing in my high school career was a walk-off home run. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life, and I've played big leagues for 21 years. So I think anytime you have a lasting memory and it's going to be your last year in your career, that'd be awfully tempting. It really would, to just say, you know what, boys, I'm going out in that fashion.
Let's talk about the National League wild card. I think the Mets are in. It would take a catastrophic failure here in the last 3 to miss. The question is, John, who do they play, San Francisco or St. Louis?
Golly, I've been following this thing as everybody else has, and it's been so puzzling to see. I'm just telling you, I think the Giants are a scary team, but they haven't shown it in the second half. This has not been 2 weeks. This has not been a month. This has been the second half they have really fallen off. Offensively, they have not been able to do what they need to do. Their bullpen has been struggling. The St. Louis Cardinals are going to end up at this year, regardless of what happens, going, what happened at home? How in the world could we not play better, which we historically do? It's two rich franchises going down to try to chase that last spot. It really is going to depend on which team they're playing really, really, really wants to upset the apple cart and take their season out. You got the Dodgers, which I don't know they're going to play that kind of game, meaning Roberts hasn't seemed to play this stretch as if he wants to get or catch the Washington Nationals for best record. I don't think he cares about starting at home. I think he cares about getting his guys ready for that series. So I've been on the opposite side of both, needing the opposite team, meaning when we won and caught the Dodgers in 91, we needed San Francisco to beat the Dodgers. It happened. And then when we chased the reverse happened. When we chased the San Francisco down in 93, we needed the Dodgers to beat. So that rivalry is definitely a little bit more than what you got going on with St. Louis and Pittsburgh. And like you said, I think the Mets are in a nice position that ultimately, if they have a one-game lead going into Sunday, I personally would not pitch Noah Syndergaard. I would wait and take my chances and allow him to pitch that one game to get me into a series. That would be my personal choice if they have that one-game lead.